Hello friends, it's been a while since I have made a video updating on the progress of my bees, and I've got a few reasons for that, but one of the main ones is that I actually ran out of space on my phone. Lame reason, but it is the main reason. But that has been remedied. One of the other reasons is that there just hasn't been much going on with the bees. I've done a couple of checks, but we are pretty much at the end of the season now. I don't imagine that we have too many warm days left. We're about into mid-November at this point, so the bees certainly aren't bringing anything in. My main concern these days is just making sure that they have enough food stores for the winter. Just to update you on what I've seen so far, the bees have gone through a lot of the honey stores that they had originally packed up. I've read that really bees need the entire upper brood box full of honey to make it through the winter, and they definitely don't have anything close to that. So I've been doing a lot of heavy feeding for the past few weeks, a ratio of 2 to 1 sugar syrup, so a pretty heavy sugar syrup. Last time I looked, they had taken a lot of that, packed a lot of that away in the comb. But I'm out here to check on their progress again. A couple things have worried me. The last time I checked, their numbers seemed kind of low. Of course, when I checked, they were in a cluster. They weren't quite ready to come out. It was the middle of the day and it wasn't too cold, but there wasn't much sunshine and they weren't ready to come out for the day. So they were in a cluster, and so maybe what I was seeing wasn't entirely accurate. I did get a look at the queen though. That is the first time I have seen the queen for this colony. She was fat and honey amber brown and beautiful. So hopefully my bees and their queen will make it through the winter. Today I'm just checking to see how they're doing with the syrup I put in there. Last time I checked, they had not taken much of it. That stuff gets cold overnight now, so they might not be caring for it too much. What I'm seeing today already though looks pretty good. The bees are out and buzzing around the hive. I'm seeing them come in and out of the super I have on top, which is where I have the feeder housed. I will be removing that feeder soon. Today, in fact, I think I probably will. I don't know if they're taking much of it anymore. At this point, like I said, the stuff gets cold. I'm not sure that they really would want it. So I'm thinking that for my winter feeding, I probably will be giving them sugar cakes, all right? Low moisture and high sugar. And hopefully that will compensate for whatever honey stores they don't have to get them through the winter. So let's take a look and see what we've got.
Right, so I'm already pretty pleased with what I'm seeing. Just looking at the hive here before I've even touched it, I'm seeing a lot of activity, which means my bees seem pretty healthy. They're coming in and out of the main entrance and the little entrance made by the inner cover, and that's where I am keeping the sugar syrup. I am seeing, a wasp or two coming in and out. That's not unusual. There are lots of pollinators out looking for food at this time of year, and this sugar syrup is enticing to many of them. So that is to be expected, as long as I'm not seeing too many and my bees don't want to have to compete or fight. Now, one of the things that really has had me concerned is hive beetles. Hive beetles are difficult to get rid of, and last time I took a look, I saw quite a few on the inner cover crawling around, but I won't know what that looks like until I take it off and look at it today. So I'm going to take the top off of this thing, see what my sugar syrup looks like. The way I see these bees coming in and out, I imagine that there's still probably some sugar syrup left up there. So let's have a look. Alright, so already just a little bit concerning. It looks like my feeder's pretty much empty. A lot of that sugar has crystallized. Seeing a lot of activity right down there through the entrance into the hive, through the inner cover. But this is what really is unfortunate. It doesn't look like mass casualties. You can see a bunch of dead bees over here in the corner. And what has happened there is the feeder leaked. It must have run over, and you can kind of see the discoloration where it ran right through here and probably out the entrance there. But some of the bees who were after that must have either drowned in it or just got too wet and then too cold and died for whatever reason. They did not make it, so I'm going to get them cleaned off. Like I said, I'm seeing lots of bees out here. I'm hoping they're mine. If there's another beehive nearby and they've been attracted to the honey and the sugar water here, you know, these could be the bees from another hive. I hope they're mine, but I don't know if there's really a way to tell with my rookie eyes. But I'm going to get this feeder off of here. I will not be using this feeder anymore this year, and I'm considering not using it next year. I haven't been entirely pleased with it. It's been leaking most times I put it in, so I may find another feeding solution for next spring. And like I said, over the winter I'll be using sugar cakes. Alright guys, when I talk about hive beetles, this is what I mean. These little black guys crawling around. The numbers this time don't look as extreme as last time, so the colony must be healthy and keeping the numbers in check. Still not a good thing, and they are a pain in the butt to get rid of from what I've read. But I'll have to figure that out by next year, because I'll just keep having a hive beetle problem if I don't find a solution. But from what I can see, things look okay. I'm not going to pull any of these frames out today. I'm not interested in disrupting them in that way. But you can see, if you look just down between the hives here, and I know it's hard to see this, but they do have some capped honey, most likely capped sugar syrup, but that's better than nothing. Still not seeing massive numbers. In fact, what I'm guessing is that most of the ladies are out of the hive and buzzing around here. It's just hard to tell. I can't tell for sure unless I were to pull the frames out and really have a look. But the bees that are out seem active and in good shape. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and put the top back on. Like I said, I'm not going to be putting that super back on. I'm going to keep things nice and insulated for them, and go ahead and get that taken care of. I don't know if y'all can see all this activity, but they are active today. Like I said, they don't really seem to be coming and going. You know, they're not out foraging, so and they're not even really that interested in me. They're not headbutting me as they typically will when they're concerned. They're just out and about and moving around. You know, this is the warmest and sunniest weather they've had in a while. We've had a ton of rain. The sun is shining pretty brightly here on their hive, and so things are warmed up and they're just out and about. It's kind of a touchy time of the year for them. There's nothing to go out and forage for, and the weather shifts between extremely cold and then warm like this, especially cold at the night and warm during the day, and this might be one of the last, you know, warm days that we have. So I have just a small window here to really get them prepared for the coming winter. Alright guys, what I'll also be doing today is putting the entrance reducer on. It has been off for most of the spring and all of the summer. This is something that you really want to use just earlier in the spring, especially when the hive is just weak and trying to build things back up again. What it does really, more than anything, is protect the hive. It keeps robbers out. You know, if they have to defend the hive and get rid of some wasps or something like that, they have a smaller entrance to defend. All right, think the 300. You know, you can fight off many with just a few there. And you can see it's adjustable depending on the time of year and the strength of the hive. You can use the wider entrance or the smaller entrance if you know it's a really weak hive. Now in the winter, which is what I'll be preparing them for today, you want to use the smaller entrance, and you want it turned up like that. That just gives them a way to get out of the hive when they need to. You know, they don't come out in the winter too much, but they got to come out to do what's called a cleansing flight. And that is a polite way of saying they need to come out to drop a load. And so that you really don't want to have to worry about robbers such as mice and other things looking for something sweet to eat in the winter time. And so by using the small entrance turned up like this, it'll keep most things out. So that's what I'll be putting on today. They may be a little bit confused for a bit. They're used to that much wider opening that they've had all summer long. But you know, the bees are smart. I will put this on there and they will figure it out. So there you have it. Alright, small opening on the entrance reducer. I'll put some sugar cakes on here within a week or two, and hopefully my colony makes it through the winter. And I'll be honest with you, I'm just kind of thinking the worst here. I don't think they actually will make it through the winter, but we'll see. It's been a good learning year regardless, and next spring, you know, if I have to start over, I'll start over. All right, lifelong hobby. Thanks, guys.